Welcome to the Exit 58 podcast, a show about pop culture, tech, politics, and anything else they can come up with.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Exit 58 podcast. Derek, Rob, and Kaz here with you. It's episode number 2, gentlemen.
Yes.
We are back again after a little bit of a hiatus. We are back in the saddle, but with a twist.
Twist?
This time.
A twist?
Yes.
Who's the twist? What's the twist?
The twist is in Ben Salem.
Yes, hello. I am in Studio B, in a long-distance studio here.
Wow.
The Exit 58 podcast travels far and wide.
Crystal clear, though.
Thank you very much. As I mentioned earlier, thank you, Al Gore, for the internet. We appreciate your help.
And I'll tell you what, the suits upstairs, they must have liked us because our pilot was not a one and done.
We actually made it to a second episode.
First of all, I would like to, well, not me, but everybody, we would like to thank those of you who downloaded the first podcast. Thank you very much for checking it out and showing your support. You can find us on Twitter, of course. It has been a busy time on Twitter for us trying to really establish ourselves, and we're doing it at kind of a bizarre point in the history of this country, because you have like Pokemon going on, you have this crazy convention season going on with the Republicans and the Democrats, all kinds of crazy stuff going on in the world, and we're trying to keep you updated in our own way, including like cool things like, what was yesterday, National Junk Food Day or something?
National Junk Food Day. Cheetos.
Yeah.
Ripped open some Cheetos and some Fritos and Doritos and Tostitos.
I don't want to disappoint anybody, but I'm not a big
Your
Cheetos
idea of
guy.
Chobani is junk food for you, so you're the wrong person to ask. A Quaker granola bar is junk food for you.
It
You
is.
can't add artificial,
Sun-made raisins, junk food.
Yeah, Jonesy, you're too much of a healthy eater.
I know. I'm like shoveling barbecue Fritos into my mouth, and Jones is living on the wild side eating some honey-made grams. You know.
So after. Now, one of the things with the little break we took was I was in Atlanta, right? So I got home and I stepped on a scale, and I gained
For what reason? You're 5 pounds.
Jeez, seriously.
I gained 7 pounds
Oh my
muscle.
gosh!
during vacation from eating Chick-fil-A.
Just take off the hat.
Just take off the hat.
Empty
Were you
your
wearing a
pockets.
Carmen Miranda outfit, or what were you wearing? What the hell, man? 7 pounds. Come on, Jones.
7 pounds.
Jones,
You can afford to put 7 pounds.
Yeah, you're
on.
a noodle. You don't have to worry about that.
I've been cleaning up the diet since.
I mean, did you have trouble zipping your pants up?
No, but
Jeez.
a mutual acquaintance of ours
All right.
stopped by.
Obviously female.
Yeah.
No, this is not. I wish it was not a
Okay.
female. It's an older male who we knew when we were in college. He stopped by here one day and surprised all of us. And one of the things he noted was that I had put on weight.
That's
What?
BS.
Oh,
Yes.
Come on now.
His name rhymes with Al Miller.
Oh, well.
You look fat. What have you been doing? Pigging out?
We can obviously discount this whole conversation.
by the way,
because
can I-
it's Al Miller.
just to scope the nasty taste out of our mouths right now, can I go back and ask you something? You mentioned that people have been downloading the podcast. I guess statistics tell you that. You know, like on Twitter, like when you put some, at least this happens with mine. I'm sure it happens with other people. You either put a tweet up there and it gets a like immediately, or you get like a new follower just randomly, and it turns out to be like Sheziwan Su, and she has does stuff like that have, like, are there like porn bots that will download our podcast and beef up our numbers?
No, that's not how podcast. It doesn't work. That way
I don't
for
know. That's
podcasts.
why I'm asking. I'm an idiot when it comes to this stuff.
It doesn't work.
If they figured out how to like my tweet, they could figure out how to go to the site and download.
With direct downloads, that doesn't happen. SoundCloud, I think there might be bots. I know there are bots that like you.
Are we going to be picky at this point?
No, I'm not
I just want
saying.
to know if it's genuine
it's
love.
kind of
or
like
not,
2
that's all.
a.m. at the bar, right?
Yeah, if you're running a spam account and you accidentally like our stuff, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't care.
To an extent, yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Well, yeah, right.
I'm not gonna get upset.
We're here this podcast embraces diversity.
Listen,
so if you are a porn bot, who are we to judge?
Well, listen though. Let's say we had random number 50 people download our podcast, and you found out that 48 of those 50 were either porn bots or Derek. Wouldn't you be a little bit disappointed?
I'm still sleeping at night. I don't care.
I understand that. You would just be happy that 2 non-porn bot non-Derek's were
exactly.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
So you can, if you're a porn bot or if you're a regular human, you can check us out on iTunes, also on Stitcher as well. I believe we're coming to the Google Music Play area soon as well. So get ready. And we're on SoundCloud too.
It actually is kind of cool to get some, we got some good reactions to the first episode. So
and we're coming into
we're going to tweak
fantasy.
as we go, certain things, we're going to tweak the podcast as we go and kind of change some things up. So
you never know where you might find the podcast. You might be doing a Yahoo mock draft and you might see us in there.
Yeah.
You might see the podcast in there. you might be in an AOL chat room and there we are.
Yeah.
You might be on AIM. And there we are.
And you will find us.
You will find us.
Yeah. And big ups to 1/3 of the member this week who was super active on the Periscope, which is always a way to get our name out there as well.
Yo, man, I got to tell you, that was so fun.
Yeah, it's a good way to interact, man.
People are butthurt about this election.
Yeah.
People have opinions that you would not believe about this election.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So what do we have running in this election? It's like it's Trump, Hillary, and Pikachu. Is that what we have going on there?
Might as well be.
Yeah, if there was ever a year for a third party candidate, this would be the year. And it's funny because you're watching all of this stuff and just so to me it must be so hard for a younger person to kind of figure out what voice do I listen to, because there's so many voices out there. It's wild. I'm super excited to be at the DNC starting next week.
I'm excited that you're going to be there too, and you're going to be periscoping while you're there.
That's the plan, Stan.
That's the plan, Stan. All
yeah,
right.
that's the plan.
Good.
I have enlisted some potential help too to help me with some protesters, maybe.
Al Sharpton.
Yeah.
Yes, I need some audio. I need some audio from protesters.
He's the only one that might be skinnier than you now.
Yeah, man, he's
he,
Reverend Al.
He looks like a troll doll. Like with the pared
he's
down.
He's hanging on.
Yeah.
He is light, my friend.
So look how legitimate we are already. In 2 podcasts, we have DNC clearance. Like, what does that tell you about our government?
This is why Donald Trump's running in the first place.
That's why he's trying to make America great again and stop
Yeah.
shenanigans like that happening.
To limit us yahoos from getting access to conventions.
Yeah. 3 schlubs getting in here just because they put a name on a paper. No wonder it's easy to get in here.
Oh my goodness! But guys, so what are you guys doing in the interim? How have you been getting your chops loosened up here for show 2 since we've last met?
So one of my specialties on the podcast. Hi, I'm Rob. I'm bachelor number 1. One of my specialties for the show is just doing some production. So kind of doing some social media stuff as far as like graphic design. Derek actually does the production stuff and kind of doing some of that, but trying to keep the content fresh. So just kind of freshen up that way. Kaz, how about you?
It's funny you should ask, and thank you for asking. Thank you so much for the phone call. I was waiting for lightning to strike me, figuratively, of course, to find inspiration for our next bit, and it was pretty easy this past week to come up with the subject for a bit, a canned bit of fun. So I'm always on the lookout for that kind of stuff. I don't claim to be any sort of brilliant writer or anything like that, but I tend to get a feel for when things are funny, and I try and get them on paper and hope they make sense. So we have something coming up a little bit later in the podcast that I think that I thought was funny, and it kind of came to me. I was actually driving over the bridge on my way to work, and bing! It just came into my head, and it all came together in bits and pieces. By the time I got to work, it was ready for me to jot it down on paper. So we shall see what happens, what the fruit of my labors brings about later.
And that is a good reminder here that not only do we the regular podcast that we have, but we also put up some like Easter egg type comment. Are people still using Easter egg comments?
Yes,
I guess.
All right.
I hope we are.
Well, so that makes it official.
Yeah.
So we also post some extra clips up on the good old SoundCloud, but I think that's a good time.
Yeah.
And we even dug way back into the archives recently for a game.
Yeah, what can we talk about that?
Yeah, let's discuss.
I thought that there was like a bug in the system or something. I said, "What is this?
The production crew went
clowns.
crazy.
Yeah, what is this?"
Yeah, I was going through my closet at home
so embarrassing,
and stumbled across a great basketball game from 2001.
It was a great basketball game. It's a shame that one of the people talking during it ruined it. It was terrible. Terrible.
That actually, I was looking for one of two clips.
Yes.
Both were William Patterson games. The other one was from the last year you were doing the games. It's when we were at William Patterson.
So, because no one knows who the hell we are, Derek and I used to do Rowan basketball games here for the student radio station, and I unearthed a box that has about 20, 30 some odd white cassette tapes that either have basketball games on them or are old early bird shows.
Wow.
Yeah. So I gotta work on maybe I'll come here one day and try and dump and convert as much of that. But yeah, hearing those old basketball games it's funny.
Yeah,
it's
tremendous. I have like 4 or 5 boxes. I think there's some other good stuff that I got to find that's hovering. I found an old tape, Rob, with the tag on it that says Salon Royale.
Oh yes, that was many moons ago.
Yeah, so there's some goodies hovering out there that you may find on SoundCloud eventually.
And throwing back as far as just like social media goes, I'm going to post a picture of the three of us from back in the day. It's going to embarrass us, but what the hell? That's what we're doing this podcast for in the first place.
How far back are we going for this picture?
This goes back to one of Jonesy's parties that I believe. Oh man,
I'm not drinking Red Dog in the photo, am I?
No. There's
I had terrible drinking taste.
There's no alcohol in this picture. I had to, in fact, edit a little bit of things, but nonetheless, the three of us look like 3 young tykes, and I look like one of the Bloods or the Crips or whatever one wears, blue bandanas.
What?
So yeah,
Blood or Crip?
Do you know what photo he's talking about, Jones?
I'm going to post it.
Yeah, I think I do. I think it was from my backyard, maybe, or at my house.
It was from your backyard, but Jones, you look like you've had like you've done like 4 keg stands in this picture. So I hope you don't mind me posting it up.
That's fine. I probably did legit do 4 keg stands that night. That was a long time ago.
And the good news is he didn't have to drive home afterwards.
Yeah, that's it. That was an easy night. It was an easy night. You just fall face first in your bed.
Anywhere.
Yeah. I don't think I slept in my bed that night. I think I fell on a couch somewhere.
Oh, there was a couple parties there. It was crazy.
Good times.
Good times.
Good God Almighty.
Good food. Let me tell you, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Oh man, some of the best barbecue food. The potato salad and ribs and best hamburger I ever had. I can still taste that food. Man,
and then we won't
say
say exactly what job it was, but Mr. Jones would disappear in the middle of the night. And at one point we just thought he was Batman or something like that.
Yeah. My parents from time to time like to disappear at night to go on journeys down the way in South Jersey.
It's very
casinos.
It's very cryptic. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want to be too cryptic.
Jeez.
All right. Well, all right. So that's our little walk down memory lane now, but it's time to, I guess, bring people back up into to speed and see what's going on now in the good old world of pop culture and good old entertainment.
ICYMI, in case you missed it.
Yeah, all right. In case you missed it, we're here on the Exit 58 podcast. Rob, Derek, I'm Kaz. Let's get right into it. This is the In Case You Missed It ICYMI segment. Go! So, in case you didn't hear, good old Michael Jagger, the 72-year-old frontman of the Stones, he's expecting his 8th child. Mick's representatives confirmed a report by People magazine and other media outlets that Jagger's girlfriend, Melanie Hamrick, 29, is pregnant. Jagger already has 7 children who range in age from 45 to 17. He is also a grandfather of 2 children. In May, fellow Rolling Stone Ron Wood became a father again at 68 after his wife, Sally Humphreys, gave birth to twin girls, because who deserves to have twins more so than the 68-year-old Ron Wood, for God's sake? People need to stop having vaginal intercourse with the Rolling Stones at once.
Oh,
please.
God.
Am I allowed to say that in the podcast?
Sure.
What is going on with these guys?
We are listed.
So ridiculous, John.
We are listed as a clean podcast.
I didn't say any cuss words.
You didn't say any cuss.
Change that listing quick.
That is a clean word. Look. This is weird. There's no question about it, and it's weird. It's not weird to Mick Jagger. It's not weird to Ron Wood. But it is weird to the kids, because can you imagine if you're a 17-year-old having a discussion with, like, this girl you're bringing over, you're trying to impress her or something like that, and she goes, "Hey, like, do you have any siblings or anything?" Yeah. I got an older brother. Yeah, how old is he? He's 45. Like, can you imagine having that conversation? Like, my brother is 10 years older than I am, and almost every person I've told that to within the last 5 to 10 years. I'm like, oh my God, 10 years? That's a long time. Can you imagine a 28-year difference between you and your sibling?
That's ridiculous.
I got to say, Mick Jagger is giving some of these NFL players a run for their money in terms of breeding.
Yeah, he really is. I don't know how he's doing it. Like,
is it Cromartie? Is it Antonio Cromartie?
He's got like 13 or 14 kids.
Yeah. Age range 45 to 17. That is unbelievable. And can we 29-year-old girlfriend?
Well,
I get that he's in the Rolling Stones. I get it. He looks like the Crypt Keeper's decaying. He's terrible looking. I know he still moves pretty good. I mean, I saw that the thing that you forwarded, or not forwarded, but tweeted out, the picture of him dancing or whatever he's doing. Yeah. He's just, I don't know how he's done it.
Well,
I don't know how he stayed so limber. So, I mean, he's still, I guess his stuff still has potency to it.
He look.
So I mean, doesn't that stop after a certain age?
Shouldn't he be like?
Doesn't that dry up after a certain age?
Sitting in a bathtub with somebody on a hillside,
doesn't
like
that stuff
holding
just
hands?
kind of become powder after a while and doesn't have any swimmers left in it? What happens there?
My goodness, I think there goes our listing. I just heard it go out the window with the anonymous mink.
No, I'm serious. At what age does a male, stop having that power to impregnate a woman?
I don't know.
Is there an age for that, Jones?
Studio to answer that question.
A guest in what?
No, is there a doctor in the house that we can ask?
Oh, okay. Look, I don't know the answer to this question, but I will say this: I feel like if you keep yourself in good physical condition,
is he in good physical? He's dancing around. He's probably on cocaine when he was doing that. How is he not dead? I mean, you mean to tell me this guy hasn't had many decades of drug use and alcoholism, and he should be dead, right?
This guy, since day one,
he's going to die having sex. He's going to die in the midst of intercourse, and some young chippy's going to have to peel him off of her. And it's going to be disgusting. It's disgusting without him dying.
There's so many interesting angles to this, but since day one, he has been a physical fitness buff. Since before he was a member of the Rolling Stones.
Well, because he's having intercourse with men and women, with David Bowie and such.
He has a whole clan of people
around the world. I mean, I'm just calling.
Based off of books, yes, that has been reported that happened. Yes,
of course. Did you not want to talk about that?
Yeah, really.
All right.
I'm trying to protect the credibility of Mick Jagger.
He doesn't listen. He has a whole clan of people with his last name now.
So not to cut you off, but what's so interesting with this for me is that a few years ago, I believe his previous girlfriend, died. So he likes the younger ladies. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Well, why did she die?
I will put the crack research team on that. Unfortunately, I may become.
Did she die because she was? Did he branch out to an older broad and she died and he can't take that anymore and he's going after the young ones?
I think she was
drug overdose.
I think she was older than this current one.
Yeah, I think she was. I think she was like 30. No,
I don't understand what happened to me last girlfriend, mate. I pushed her out the window. She didn't live. I don't understand what happened, mate. Why didn't she live? Why didn't she live when I pushed her out the window when I was high as a kite on coke? Why didn't she live, mate?
All right, let's
Jim Jones has got his nose buried.
Oh, wow. Hold on. Okay. So according to this, she died 2 years ago, and she was 49 years old. She killed herself.
She fell off a chair while there was a rope on her neck. I don't understand what happened. She was just cleaning a ceiling fan, and she just fell, mate. She killed herself?
She killed herself, yeah. Yeah, she killed herself.
Well, he got over it quick. All right, well,
let's move on to
the
story, please.
We need to move on.
My gosh, it went south quickly, didn't it? It was like, all right, we're making fun of this Mick Jagger, the front man. And it was like we mentioned the S word, and it was like, oh man. All right, let's bring it back up. Let's talk about happier things.
Yes.
Because this
heavy.
Heavy.
Got heavier than Derek Jones after his trip to Atlanta.
Too many waffle fries, man.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
All right, so Pokemon Go, it's all the craze. So it's a game that has everyone talking and everyone playing, even adults. Pokemon Go has become an overnight phenomenon. The game, which mixes fantasy with reality, gets people out and about looking for and capturing Pokemon characters and other prizes using their phones. And while it's meant to be all fun and games, it has put some players in danger. Since the game's release, it's been linked to robberies and the discovery of a dead body. Now there's a new risk which could have unsuspecting players walking right into what could be a dangerous situation. In Arizona, one of the locations listed in the app to quickly capture a large number of Pokemon is the Windsor Hotel. Now get this. The hotel turned halfway house for dozens of repeated sex offenders. The old hotel is in Arizona, is on the historic list of places in Arizona, which is why the Pokemon Go app accidentally selected it as a beacon location, whatever the hell that means. So now you have all these like adults and kids apparently going to this sex offender, basically like Comic-Con and going there to capture like Pokemon. I don't understand this game at all.
Maybe Mick Jagger's former girlfriend was doing Pokemon Go when she died.
And she didn't even know what was going on probably when they got
she wasn't playing the game. She was like just chasing the Pokemon.
Maybe that's how she got pregnant with.
I think I know where the Pokemon went. Let's see what happens when I do this here. I think the Pokemon's right here.
Yeah, he definitely released his Pokeball. That's for sure. All right.
I don't even know what that means, but it's funny.
All right, well, let's get some semblance back to the show.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So Jonesy, help us out with this Pokemon thing because
you don't play.
You
do
have
you,
obviously a Pokemon
played?
expert that you talk to.
No,
I
do not play. I actually had one of my friends said to me, "It's like if you play this, I'll never talk to you again." So I was like, "All right."
That's how I feel. I do lots of dorky stuff. I still I play with my son's toys more than he does half the time. I like that. But this is dorky and nerdy and like a whole nother level.
It's crazy, and one of my friends in something that is going to come to the Exit 58 podcast in some way, shape, or form at some point. We talked to somebody who is a heavy-duty Pokemon Go player, and we actually went out into the field with them as they were playing Pokemon. Interesting experience.
Sounds like a very dangerous field report.
This is exactly kind of what this is exactly
into the mean streets of Baltimore. Now that would be something. Now that would have been, instead of going around flowery Mullica Hill, he probably should have sent her into Baltimore. That I would have been interested in. But see how many Pokemons you find there on MLK Boulevard.
They'd be armed. Jonesy, this is all going to be up and up for your career because this is how Brokaw got started. Was with Pokemon Go back in the 70s to come bring the Pokemon craze of the 60s. When there was so much going on.
Well, I mean, look, this game it's out of control. I mean, someone sent me a photo while I was on vacation of a Pokemon character in the station lobby, and I'm like, well, how does
Jordan
this thing
Springer.
get here?
He was coming back. He was coming back to visit.
It was a small thing.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I talking with my dad over the weekend, he said, this thing, it's just a fad. And I said, you know what? Pokemon Go itself might be a fad. It might go away. But this interactive platform is not, it's not going anywhere.
No. It's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
It's only going to get worse.
Just kind of
a lot of the
retailers
scary. Now are seeing a way to kind of attract people to it now because I know Target in certain areas has been used to attract people to get Pokemon. So all the different stores now are kind of seeing ways to attract new customers.
It's going to be a big marketing tool moving forward. My biggest gripe with it is the people who don't know how to draw the boundary lines with in regards to reverence and respect and things like that. Like, what was it, the story? People using Arlington National Cemetery and stuff like.
Right.
I mean, have a little decorum about you.
Right, and they don't care. Like they're just walking anywhere.
Yeah.
Last week, there were two people who were in my dad's backyard.
Oh, what?
Who just walked in my dad's backyard looking for Pokemon characters. Now
that's ridiculous.
You guys both have met Bob Jones.
Yes.
That he's not the one.
He is not the one.
He's not the one to try that with. So I'm guys, like, if you're out there, use your head.
Private property still exists, even if Pokemon is there.
There's another video I saw of somebody. It appeared to be late night, banging on somebody's door, trying to get in their house because there was some sort of Pokemon figure in the guy's house.
You have all sorts of devious people out there who can manipulate this thing and, luring younger kids into, danger areas and things like that. It's just, there's too many sick people out there for something like this to be on the loose. I don't think we as a civilization can really handle this at this point in a very responsible manner. And it's how many, I can't tell you how many videos, and you guys have seen them too. It was just the other night, I think DC or Baltimore, a guy sideswipes a cop car parked on the side of the road because he was playing with his Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's a scary thing if you don't know what's happening because people. I've heard stories of people in 55-mile-per-hour zones driving like 10, 15 miles per hour.
Yeah,
because they're watching a game on their phone while they're driving. I mean, that's crazy.
I'll take Game Boy. Dr.
Stay
Mario.
Inside.
Yeah,
stay inside. You get your PS4.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and just stay with that.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, are you ready to transition into another story here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be just as uplifting as the last two.
Yeah.
Well, Taylor Swift previously claimed Kanye West never told her he was going to rap, quote, "I feel like me, and Taylor might still have sex. Why? I made that be famous." End quote. In Kanye's song, Famous. But a video Kim Kardashian posted on her Snapchat shows the pair did discuss the song. In the clip, West recites the lyrics to Swift on the phone, leaving out the last part of the lyric where West says he made Swift famous. She tells him to choose whatever line he thinks is best. And he says, quote, "It's obviously very tongue-in-cheek either way, and I really appreciate you telling me about it. That's really nice." Soon after West debuted Famous this past February, a rep for Swift said, quote, "Kanye did not call for approval, but to ask Taylor to release his single Famous. On her Twitter account, she declined and cautioned him about releasing a song with such a strong misogynistic message." Gentlemen, what side of this story do you believe or do you not care?
Like, this is going to sound crazy, but I'm with Kanye West on this because I don't know if anybody heard the. I think Taylor Swift is cray cray. All right, so She's totally crazy. But Kanye West actually has, another part of the story, because I'm so up on the entertainment buzz around here. You know what I mean? These days, when people think entertainment and breaking news, they think of Rob. You know, they do. But Kanye West apparently has some sort of audio recording of the phone conversation that he had with Taylor Swift, in which he tells her all these things, and now she's coming out and denying it. She's just a liar.
Can I just say it's I don't care who's right and who's wrong on what side. Can we just talk about the fact that whether she gave consent for a line like that, that's a line in a song? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's a line in a song.
And this guy's probably going to make the keynote address at the Democrat convention too. Trump is a Klan member, but we can have crap like this in songs, and Obama will be rapping with him and high-fiving him and all this kind of stuff, and that's okay because it's Kanye and that's cool. But
Kanye for president 2020.
Right. So, I mean, listen, Taylor Swift, whatever. I really have no opinion for either one of them, but it's ridiculous that's even in a song, quite honestly.
Yeah.
I don't care if she
Kanye's
gave
nuts too.
Well, yes, of course.
He has basically a documentarian following him around, shooting video. That's how all this happened. Shooting video of just about everything that he does.
No one is that important.
Yeah, nobody is.
And at least it's certainly not him.
What, the best thing he did was 2003 with the College Dropout album?
Well, yeah, there's no question he had a run there, which is, I would say, is on par with some of the better hip-hop acts of all time.
Is that a disrespectful lyric, Derek?
Oh, no question.
What if Kanye wrote that about your future daughter or your niece or something? It's terrible.
We'll have to have a discussion about that.
Yes, of course. But I bet you have his albums.
I mean, I own a few of them. Yeah. I have a few of his songs on my iPod.
Mm-hmm. That lyric is worse than anything Mick Jagger has done to any of those 20-year-old ladies.
Wait a minute. I mean, what about the
Pokeballs are a lot different than this.
What about the Mackenzie Phillips tuna sandwich story?
I thought it was chicken salad.
Or chicken salad. I'm sorry, chicken salad story.
What was that story?
Has that ever been confirmed, or is that just hearsay?
You
don't know this story, Rob? Oh, Derek, you got it. Regale us with this one.
Entertainment news, apparently, but not so much.
This is older entertainment news.
All right, so right around the time,
this is back when Entertainment Tonight, it was like John Tesh and all that kind of stuff.
This story came out, I believe, right before that book came out that was talking about Mick and David Bowie and Bette Midler and all these folks.
Bette Midler?
Yeah.
So what a love triangle that is.
Yeah. Bette Midler, David Bowie, Mick Jagger in a closet and some...
Whoa.
Yeah, crazy.
Whoa.
So, music.
Mackenzie Phillips was a young lady, okay? I believe it was John Phillips of the Mamas and the Papas used to have.
Oh my gosh, this is
this
convoluted. This is like John Philip Sousa, like the marching band. John Philip Sousa is having relations with Mick Jagger and David Bowie
Kanye.
in the trombone.
Yeah. So Mick had been friends with Phillips and knew Mackenzie Phillips, obviously through the relationship with the dad, and knew her when she was a younger girl. The story is one night they were all over the house, and Mick was trying to find a way to lure, get at her,
gosh,
and seal the deal.
And she was how old at the time?
I want to say she was. Don't quote me on this, but I believe she was 18, 19, somewhere in that.
Oh, look at Jones protect him. Look at Jones.
I thought I heard she was 16 in the original story.
16.
Wait a minute now, because continue on in the story and you'll see why I thought that.
John Phillips is upstairs in the kitchen making chicken salad sandwiches, right? I wish I was making this up. I'm not. He's making chicken salad sandwiches. And
by the way, this is the most believable part of the story. So.
Yeah.
Right. Mick is a big fan of the chicken salad.
Yeah, so eventually Mick somehow manipulates a situation where he locks John Phillips in another room while he and Mackenzie are together, I believe, in the basement or something. And Mick said, "I've been waiting for this since you were a little girl."
Oh, my gosh.
Which, again, is next to the chicken salad, that's the most believable thing. I could definitely hear him saying something like that.
So, where does the chicken salad come in?
That's apparently what he was preparing.
He was. Yeah, Mr. Phillips was making.
I think it's just code lingo. Hey, Mick, I'm going to go make the chicken salad right now. Remember what we talked about? Chicken salad on a croissant.
Allegedly, in the story, she was 18.
Okay. All right. Well, I stand corrected.
Look at Jones. You're on it, man. You're so on it.
The interns.
And the direct quote from Mick, I've been waiting for this since you were 10 years old.
Can you do it in Mick's voice? It would make it more real.
You do the voice better than I do.
I've been waiting for this since you were 10 years old, love. Brown sugar. That is the most, that is the most perverted thing that anyone could. I've been waiting for this since you were 10 years. That means when that girl was 10 years old.
He was thinking about it.
He was thinking about that.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Jeez. Well, boys, I don't know if you remember the band Third Eye Blind. If you don't,
I do.
no one would bother you about that. But Stephen Jenkins says that he and his Third Eye Blind bandmates haven't been invited to perform at the DNC convention, but Hillary Clinton may want to reconsider the Rockers as a late addition after Jenkins upstaged the Donald and Company. When Jenkins railed against Trump and the GOP platform in Cleveland earlier this week, performing at a free concert. Third Eye Blind appearing in Cleveland for a benefit concert to support Musicians on Call, which brings music to hospital patients. What a platform to make a political statement, by the way. But Jenkins says Musicians on Call, quote, knew what they were getting when Third Eye Blind was scheduled to perform. When Jenkins and the band took the stage, he told the Republican partisan audience, quote, raise your hand if you believe in science. Jenkins, who says his mother is a lifelong Republican and his father a lifelong Democrat, said the progressive left needs to, quote, get actively behind Clinton if she is to have hope of toppling Trump for presidency in November. Third Eye Blind, rattling the cage of the Trumpsters in Cleveland. First of all, Third Eye Blind, can you name more than one or two songs by those guys?
No.
And apparently one of the things that they also did, like, oh man, we're going to get you good, is they didn't play any of their hit songs. Who the hell would know the difference?
What a punishment.
Yeah, really. Please.
I mean, honestly, like they only have, I think, maybe 3 good songs?
Yeah, I think it was Jumper, Graduate, and there's something else. I forget.
Semi-Charmed Kind of Life,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Semi-Charmed Kind of Life.
Yeah,
that one.
right. That's the one I remember. Yeah.
I only remember that because being in a cover band, that was like our 10 of 2 song, and that was our song to get out. Say later days, everybody. We're bolting out of this bar.
I follow a lot of artists and bands who I know politically they're probably polar opposite from me, but I can get by it because I dig their music. I dig them as artists, and I think I like their talent. I like what they produce. And a lot of times those people, like when they get interviewed by Rolling Stone or something along those lines, they'll kind of let that stuff leak out and let you know where they stand. But don't bring it onto the stage with you in the concert. I can't stand that. I'm here to listen to your music, not hear you preach, and especially not mock or troll people who are there. And by the way, this is for some sort of benefit to support some hospital patients. This guy's got to go.
Yeah, I have a big problem with this type of thing because right now we're in this era of social media where everyone becomes a freedom fighter the second something important happens or something they feel is important happens. They're not the people to be carrying this message out. Right. And if they are, they should have been doing this a long time ago before they got to the Republican National Convention. This looks like just people trying to become famous again.
And the joke's on this guy because I doubt he's going to get a call to go to the convention in Philadelphia this week. No one gives 2 craps about Third Eye Blind or 3 craps about Third Eye Blind.
I see.
He's on their songs on a shelf right now.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Right next to our what's another band from that era?
Yeah, Matchbox and who was the one Walk on the Sun? Who was that one?
Smash Mouth. Yeah,
Smash Mouth. The Fushy Mang album. I have it. I'm not ashamed.
You have Fushu Mang. Oh,
I do.
God.
I do. I'm okay with that though. That was a different time, Jones. Yeah. It was my formative years.
Music.
It's been almost 2 decades since the DVD arrived, sparking the long, slow decline, sadly, of video cassette tapes. But the tape era is about to come to a final dramatic conclusion, sadly. The last maker of VHS-compatible video cassette recorders, Japanese manufacturer Bunai Electric. I don't know if I'm saying that correct. My apologies if I'm not.
Beautiful. It was beautiful.
It's going to stop producing the devices at the end of the month due to declining sales. Really? Declining sales repeats? I mean, really?
Declining sales since about 1996.
Good God.
Uh-oh, Hiroki Fukasaki is on line one, wants to know why you butchered the company name.
Sony
I guess there goes one of our Twitter followers.
Forget it. Yeah, we're going to sponsor a segment.
We're toast. Sony said it would cease production of videotapes in its Betamax format last year. What?
What? Betamax?
This company is cutting edge.
I've never even seen a Betamax.
13 years after it stopped making compatible recorders. Is this a story from seriously? Is this a story from
where'd you rip this one
95? What's going on here?
This is accurate. We just ripped this story this morning.
Prodigy News.
Yeah, this is Prodigy. It's like the AOL sign-in news when you first get on. I can't even believe it.
I have so many things on. I have so many basketball games, football games, baseball games, episodes of the X-Files. I have all sorts of things on tape. Wayne's Brothers episode. All the shows I used to tape when I was growing up. And my wife bought me one of the best gifts I ever received, which is one of those dual VCR DVD things. Specifically, expressly, so I can convert all those things. But because I'm a lazy slob, I've never gotten around to doing it. And and it's just because it's so daunting. Like, where do you even start? I have a mountain of tapes. Where the hell do you start?
It's all real time.
Yeah.
There's some tapes I have. Well, I have at least 2 or 3 bins of old games, and it'll take me forever to do it, but it's a chore, and that's the problem with this stuff. You have to do it in real time.
Yeah,
it's not like you can just say, never mind, I'll just bing bam boom do it.
Yeah, and let's just clarify for the listeners at home or wherever you're listening to this podcast that it's bins of NFL footage. I mean, Jones has every NFL game you could ever imagine.
You used to do the tape trading, right? Tape trading over the internet?
That's how I got a good part of my collection pre-1992.
No, honestly, and I know when I look back at some of my old tapes, like the quality of it has just degraded so much over the years. I mean, are most of those games even watchable?
Some of them are still watchable, but the problem is now, the tape, if you try to rewind it or fast forward, forget it. I had to, when Prince passed away.
Which is, 2 of the main 4 functions that a VCR.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
When Prince passed away, I was trying to clip the end credits of Super Bowl 26. He did Willing and Able to, kind of a montage of the game. And I rewound it back to a point where I had literally almost destroyed the tape in 2.
Well, that game should be destroyed.
It's not one of the great NFL games of all time.
There are companies now that are willing to take your old stuff and convert it to digital media, but you're gonna pay a little bit for it, especially with the kind of collection you have.
Take some pesos.
And especially if you're gonna give them those, the saucy ones that you like, Jonesy.
You have those? You have those on tape too?
So
you know what I'm saying, Jones?
Oh.
Recipes? Is that what you're talking about?
Halftime shows? Yeah.
Halftime. Yeah, I got some halftime shows. Michael Jackson. I got all kinds of halftime
That's
shows.
a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right, fellas. Well, it's time to take a quick pause for the cause, if you will. Because, after the first show, now that we're into the second show, we actually have, promotable concepts that we can alert. Yeah, we can alert the public about. So stay tuned. This is the Exit 50A podcast. We'll be back right after this.
So Mark Summers has been on television in some way, shape, or form for 30 years because he does stuff, on the Food Network or one of those shows. And he still doesn't look too different than he did back then.
No.
And Mark Summers, and speaking of Zika, that he's like no. He is a huge, big time class A OCD germaphobe type guy, so he wouldn't be caught dead in Brazil. Yeah, well, double dare in Brazil might be to get out of there alive. That might be the ultimate prize.
It's not like
and not looking for the flag and the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You're looking for the vial of remedy inside the peanut butter.
God.
The antibodies. Where are they? Get the big Q-tip. Get in the air. I see him. It's attached to the flag. Somewhere within this big bottle of green slime is a syringe that will save you and your family's life.
Yeah.
Go!
They don't need to create obstacles. You got one big obstacle there with the Zeke.
Your eyes are bleeding out.
Yeah.
Now climb in, crawl around this peanut butter and jelly sandwich and find the cure.
Oh my God.
For more of the Exit 58 podcast, head to soundcloud.com and search Exit 58 Podcast. Subscribe to the Exit 58 Podcast on iTunes and Stitcher by searching Exit 58 Podcast.
Oh, I'm newly calibrated, all shiny and clean. I'm your recent adaptation. Time to redefine.
Off the exit.
All right, you got us back here on the Exit 58 podcast. Kaz, Derek, Rob, having a good time here. Episode number 2. Wow, we covered a lot of ground already. We're going to kind of go off the exit right now, though, and obviously one of the biggest stories from the Republican convention this past week was it was Melania Trump, right? And her kind of borrowing, shall we say, from Mrs. Obama's speech. I don't think it was a big deal. I think this stuff happens all the time. It has been fleshed out to show that it happens all the time. But what else would there be to talk about? Because let's face it, the Republican convention was kind of boring for the most part. It was kind of stodgy, wasn't it? Was it not? What are we going to talk about? Scott Baio?
No. The list of celebrities at the convention was kind of, subpar would be kind.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there was a story almost every night coming out of the convention until Donald Trump's speech on the final night. And this was a major story until the Ted Cruz speech.
Right. Rob, was this a big deal? Was the plagiarism thing a big deal?
I think that there were parts of the speech. Everybody made like that it was extended. Like if you look on CNN's website, they did a left and right comparison of the two speeches together. I think it's a little suspect with the exact verbatim, but I think the concepts, it's just all cookie cutter like statements that you're going to take otherwise. I don't think it's anything more than that. You know what I mean?
So I have nothing against Melania Trump. I think the whole thing is funny, and when I think something's funny, we turn it into a bit. And let's say, we go behind the scenes and see what Melania and her handlers may have been talking about prior to her speech earlier this week.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Trump. Eric and Don Jr. thought I should check in with you about tonight's speech, to see if you need a little guidance. I have quite a bit of experience writing these things, and I think...
Thank you for help, Melania, with speech, darling, but I'm already done, see?
Oh, well, that's fine, Mrs. Trump. Good for you. May I hear it?
Yes, of course, honey. I work very hard on this. Many hours, darling. Here go. When intercourse of human event it become necessary for one peoples to dissolve elliptical bands, which...
Mrs. Trump,
yes,
I believe that's actually the beginning of the Declaration of Independence, I think.
You think someone will notice? Okay, I scratch out. Let me try again. Maybe you like this better. 407 years ago, our fathers brought forth unto this compliment a new nation perceived in the liberties of...
Wait a minute. Hold on, Mrs. Trump. You know what that is, right?
What?
Lincoln? Gettysburg?
Darling, please, no one gonna remember that. They not even have iPhone back then. Fine. I skipped the part about me as little girl growing up in Librostipotok. You like this part, I promise.
I'm sure.
I have dreamed that my 4 little Rodotskis will one day live in a nation where they not be judged by color of Louis Vuitton bag, but by continent of their...
Hey! For the love of... Now, that's just insulting.
You much too sensitive. Here, you listen now. Melania closing remarks, yes?
Fine. Okay, I don't care. Whatever.
I am every woman. It's all in me. I can read all your thoughts right now. Everyone from AZ. Whoa.
Stop.
Whoa.
Please stop.
Whoa.
Stop it. Look, Mrs. Trump, if you want to borrow from someone, why not take it from Michelle Obama?
Who? I don't... Who?
What do you mean, who? Michelle Obama. The First Lady?
Oh, you mean the chocolate lady who lived with Obama in the White House? That's a wonderful idea, darling. No one suspects Melania steal from cleaning lady. They let chambermaids speak at convention. What a great country.
Good grief. Think I'm gonna need a Snickers.
Welcome back to the Exit 50A podcast. Certainly a different take by Melania there.
I'm glad they talked her off the ledge there. My goodness.
Yeah, it sounds like she was conflicted.
I know, but look at her being so that go-to attitude that you want from your first lady to write her own speech, though. You know what I mean? You got to give her some credit in that way.
Now, for 500 points, the last ripoff that Melania did was what song? By what artist?
Oh, that's "I'm Every Woman" by Whitney Houston.
Yes, okay.
That's off the Bodyguard soundtrack, baby.
I was going to say Oprah Winfrey because she used that as her open for so long.
Yeah, that she did. Yeah,
I forgot about that.
She used that as her open all the time. It's my birthday.
Oh, Melania. And again, listen, no politics involved there. I have nothing against Melania. I just thought the whole thing was it's just funny. It's funny how everyone, was losing their, blowing their tops about it. It's a non-issue. It really is.
I compare every crisis now in public relations almost to Deflategate and how that was handled versus how this should have been handled. Had the Trump folks just fell on top of it right away and said, hey, she admires Michelle Obama. Yeah. That's it. There's nothing really more to it than that. That's the end of the story. This is not a 3-day story.
They made way too many statements, released too many things.
Yeah, they're like, nope, didn't happen. And then the person who wrote the speech, I believe it was Meredith McIver, says, yeah, I did.
I offered to kill myself. They said, no, that's okay.
Yeah. So we went from, no, this is an erroneous report to, yeah, we did it. Like, come on, give me a break.
Make America tell the truth again.
Yeah, just do the press conference, say we're sorry, and that's it.
It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Oh, wait. Where's that speech coming from? Oh, it's original. Oh, okay, all right, sure.
Dude,
look at you getting into it. I like that. That's good.
I know. Well,
you're working on your Slovenian accent. I like that. Did you go to Mypos over during the spring?
I did.
Boy, can you imagine the next time she speaks? I don't know when that will be.
What's going to come out of her mouth?
I mean, not only that, but there will be people writing down, recording. Like,
has anyone heard her talk since then? I think Trump may have had her vocal cords removed.
She did. She
on a jar
speak.
On his desk.
What they might want to do is maybe have Ivanka speak. And then have her. Then have Melania's mouth move.
Mime it in there.
Yeah, and just send videos. Like back in the old days of professional.
Milli Vanilli.
Yeah, back in the old days of professional wrestling, if a guy was coming in from another territory, he was making his appearance into the area, he would just send in a videotape from some weird location. That's what you need to do with this. I think.
Jones, I get that reference, but I don't know if anybody else.
No one else.
I was going to say you went a little too deep into the weeds there, Joe.
Yeah,
okay.
But that's what they should do. I mean, if you're that worried about putting her out in front of things, because look. I don't think I'm speaking out of turn here. If he wins the election, I don't think she's going to be anywhere near as present as Michelle Obama is.
No. They will be keeping her far, far away from a microphone.
You will not see her on Jimmy Fallon.
You will not see her anywhere near.
You will not see her on Jimmy Kimmel, Charlie Rose.
Gonna, what is it, wrap the news with Fallon? You don't think she's going to be doing that?
No. They're going to have to find some other cowboy or cowgirl to do that.
Well, we always appreciate Kaz's creativity, eh?
No, it's out of this world.
And listen, I just want to wish Jones luck at the DNC.
Yes,
good
Jones,
luck,
get
my
us
friend.
Good audio.
Yes.
Thank you. This is going to be a daunting task over the next 4 days. I'm really looking forward to it, and yeah, it's going to be a great time. I'm not really sure what to expect because I've read a lot of things about the protesters that were at the RNC, And I'm
Well,
guessing
one of the protesters at RNC gave us a shout out, so that was good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I swear this, and I don't remember where I heard it, but there apparently in Cleveland a couple days ago, there were warring factions. I think it was Black Lives Matter versus some other group. They were actually throwing feces at each other.
Oh my gosh!
And it made me think of our the podcast from last time.
Urine too.
But feces and urine.
Maybe they were trying to catch Pokemon that way. Maybe that's a different strategy.
Well, you can't spell Pikachu without P, can you now? Here you go. Where's Pikachu?
It was funny. I thought of that story this morning when Trump said this was such a peaceful, unifying convention. I'm like, bro, are you serious?
Urine has certain cleansing powers. It's great. It's wonderful. I love the urine.
Hey, I have breaking news. We're going to break some news here.
Uh-oh.
Wait, but how breaking is it? Because this thing airs like 10.
Right. Someone might listen to this in a week, Derek.
You've already read this and probably seen 50 articles about this.
What?
Hillary Rodham Clinton.
All right.
Has dropped out.
No.
Oh.
She has chosen Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia as a running mate, according to a senior campaign official. This coming from the New York Times.
Can you insert some crickets in the production in the production meeting later?
You heard it here, 35th. I mean, like
that's it. We promise you. At the time of recording this, you probably hadn't heard this yet, but it's going to be staler than day-old bread by the time you hear it.
We are on top of things.
Absolutely.
If our news bureau can say one thing, it's on top of the issues.
Look at this guy. This guy is this is terrible what I'm about to do because the podcasting audience can't see this. I just went to our Twitter because we got a new follower. And when I went to our Twitter page,
Rob, what, 6 now?
Was it anonymous orangutan or something?
Yeah, what are you up to now, Jonesy?
Let's see, 320.
You're a wombat now.
I'm
You're an anonymous wombat.
Oh
Google has deemed you a wombat.
Rob has already created a graphic.
Oh yeah,
it's
for
brilliant.
Show 2.
It's brilliant.
While I guess he's doing Show 2.
Yes. That's how fast we work.
That's
in the
hard
podcast
work,
world.
folks.
We covered so many different things today.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm in
the
love
many
with
wives
this
of Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Derek's VHS collection and his expanding waistline.
And I actually have more breaking news.
What's that?
ABC has canceled Who's the Boss.
Oh no! No.
But
Damn it.
What will Danny
no
Pintaro
fears,
do now?
Reruns. We'll be back to cover the time slots.
Jeez.
And Hunter will be back.
Oh, great. We love Hunter.
Finally, good cop show. We needed that.
Hunter.
I mean, good God. All right, we got to get out of here. So
it's been fun, boys.
Let's get some recovery here. So people who are fans of this, don't forget you can follow us on Twitter.
What's
SoundCloud,
wrong with you?
Yeah, how dare you?
We Stitcher. We kind of do all that crap, and then you can follow us. I think we're on Facebook too, right, Jonesy?
Yes, we have created a Facebook page. Yeah. It is very new in its infancy. We're still trying to gain followers, so please head to Facebook, give it a like.
It's Fetus Book right now. It's not even a full face yet.
Yeah, it's not a full face yet. It is Fetus Book. Exit 50A podcast. Search that on your Facebook. And yeah, give us a like, folks.
And you can expect to hear all of this kind of fun and frivolity every other week. We're doing like the bi-weekly podcast until we get really big, and then we'll have breaking news every week.
Yeah, then we'll just be on demand to just churn these things out like it's our job.
Exactly. All right, I think we're going to wrap this one up. So for Kaz and Derek, this is the Exit 58 podcast. We'll see you in 2. Later days, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.